la benje sanje ndo shuwa sanje chetan soje chana la chanchu badu tani jesu Dagwe chijin jive sonan je ndo la benje
sanje chubar
ashu sanje chetan soje
chana la chanchu badu tani jesu Dagwe chijin jive sonan je ndo la benje sanje chubar
아라나 미미다 맘지 엄보장 제전에 저주주는 저바샤바는 선제 숨바르지 시디에 줄을 주바다 지심베진 있는 대자진 현대 렌진 사회대 유로바진 저바다라 출대진 거와 인디에라 그냥 제신 시스템이 암비탄에 레바토라 토야소니 지에나 몰라 이거다는 진거 두번다 미에가나도 kun지라는 지자 탐제게도 다게 제단도 올라서다 다데 연den구 고대라 연den기로 고대라 란데션된 전동구단이 대라대비 군속군이도 차다 남바미비 연den이 예와 연den 예와 주주 자시 전에 오송하나시 전에 란데션된 전동구단이 있으니까 란데주구다 현대주구 란데주구 현대구수구 스거래 다 된다디 창주간에 답이 창주지 간에 댐비 방바다 도비 연된 요거데 란데주구당 아니 가서래 수군 요거데 현대주구 시리가나 인장 다 창주 간에 댐비 아니 치수구 대달라 연된 가래던 댐바래 스나 안에 다 되는 마셔도 시작이래
So in the section of the qualities, the chapter on the qualities, then it says that you have this ultimate body, which is the basis for the perfect body for the self and perfect body for the fulfillment of the benefit of the others. So. The perfect body for the benefit of the self is the Dhammakaya, the truth body, and the Dhammakaya of abandonments, and the Dhammakaya of realizations, which is the body of perfect benefit for the self, and for the body of the perfect benefit for others is the Rupakaya, the form body. So these two bodies, Buddha bodies, then is said to embody these 64 qualities. So in order to attain these qualities, one has to attain enlightenment first.
가소리 심지지 치마 림신 장한데 장바지 고와 인장 대라 때네 다 얘기 오 감게 가수 감정지 되라 아니 가수 치마 로보 와당 아니 심지라지 예사와 나샤나 바지 대관에 주베도 송거리
So in order to attain this enlightenment, which is made up of these types of abandonments and realizations, then one first needs to purify the defilements that are associated with the basic element, as the defilements that exist within the continuum of our mind. So to purify these defilements, then you have the 10 presentations. As stated with regards to the point of presenting the purifying factors of this basic element, by establishing that these defilements of the mind are adventitious and that the basic nature of the mind is clear and luminous. So to present this, you have these 10 points.
차니 좀봐 주마다 음식 차니 아니 장주님 방도고 뒤에 장주님 뭐지 터와라 아니 심지 주마다 차와 임발라 내라 심지 교코랑 치매레바 마쇼바 아니 장신지 치매 타바다 루부지 치매 타바 시가라 다 루부지 치매 타바데다 상제 마도부터 다도 요아 말이디 랑시지 팀에 타바데 가와 요아레 시가나 심 출잡네 랑시지 팀에 타바데 출발해. 그와
So in order to attain this state in which the mental continuum is totally removed of the defilements, and to attain the enlightenment, which is the composite of the abandonments and the realizations, then one first needs to realize that the defilements, are removable from the continuum of the mind. That the defilements do not exist in the nature of the mind. To attain this enlightenment, then understanding that the continuum of the mind is that with regards to the continuum of this mind, that it is pure in its intrinsic or in its nature, that all of the defilements, the defilements do not exist in the nature of the mind, and so in that respect the mind is pure, and that those defilements are advantageous, and so by that then you establish the attainment of the enlightenment. So you have the purity of the natural purity of the mind is something that which exists the moment you have the mind. You have this natural purity of the mind, and being purified of the advantageous defilements of the mind is a state only accomplished when one attains enlightenment. So when this mind has been free of natural defilements from the very beginning, since beginningless time. This mind has been free of the natural defilements. So when we talk about what are these natural defilements, then that defilement refers to the mind being empty of true existence. The moment the mind existed, it existed in that nature of being empty of true existence. So that in that context you say that the mind from the very beginning has been free of the natural defilements. So if the mind from the very beginning, if it was not pure from this natural defilements, then you would not be able to effect any sort of changes to it, because if it was not pure from the natural defilements from the very beginning, then then it would have to be something autonomous, independent, not depending on another. And so as such, then one would not be able to effect any sort of changes to it. So when we talk about the mental continuum being with defilements, it is with these advantageous defilements, like the grasping at true existence, the attachment, the anger, and the ignorance.
아니야 심지 주마다 다른 요구가 말이 일단 된다고
these defilements, if these adventitious defilements existed in the nature of a truly existent mind, then you would not be able to effect changes to that.
일단 심지 누구지 주마 대다당 제장 심지 장신라 누구 주마 대다 그 내바 마시와 인장 아니 심지 장신越사와 세도 성과래.
So therefore, even though our mental continuum is with these adventitious defilements, but these defilements, does not, because it does not exist in the very nature of our mind. So we say that what the mind is that it is clear light, it is luminous.
어디 근데 이상 다 된다위 주마대 종제되라. 아니 뭐야게 가서래 감그 가수 아니 오주대래된 주바당 시 남바 지유 가까기 아니 처마 정제 명화당 창주 그 섬다 돈이도 베셔라 그 처마든지 처마 정월 쳐봐 그 정제당 어 된다 그 처마 장디 간라 처마대 아니 처마당 차와 영해야 돼 공도 샤바나시 처마 누보와대 아니 가서래 빼고 정제 장자 그 뼈구구 가서 뼈까지 뼈구당 아니 장자 뼈까지 뼈구당 장자 뼈까지 뼈구 장자 되라야 아니야 전지 가서 뼈구당 장자 독시체니 다 정말은 뭐 심도 장네 감각없이现네 타를 방바다 도배 뒤에 아니 장주대 독스터 봐 말이야
So, in order to purify these defilements, in order to remove these defilements, then you apply the means of the purification as explained in relation to the presentation of the basic element, the Tathagata essence. Then you have how that purification of this defilement starts off from generating the devotion to the Maya Dharma, the compassion, this concentration and the wisdom, those four factors. Then it is with starting off with these, then one is able to begin with the removal of these defilements. And the fact that one can remove these defilements is because these defilements are temporary or adventitious. So, and to illustrate this point, then you have, the presentation of the 9 illustrations, examples to illustrate the obscured phenomena and a phenomenon, and the 9 examples for the obscured meaning, and the 9 examples that are that illustrate the purifying phenomena.
Oh yeah.
So the examples for what is obscured, what are the obscuring factors, and the illustrations for the obscured meaning.
Oh, that 다 chanju 가서 제대라. 당아주 마 칭찬이 가산다 가소래.
And then, so by meditating on these points, then you gradually get to actualize the state in which one is totally free of all, removed of all the abandonments, actualized in all the realizations, and in that way attain that state of enlightenment.
추구답이 뒤전 뒤당 수구답이 뒤전 뒤당 추구답이 뒤전 숨보디 송로나 시다고 말해
추구답이 뒤전
수구답이 뒤전 뒤당 추구답이 뒤전 숨보디 양조 라로시 하는 거 나와서
So then we will begin with in the Frank's request to enlist what are the 7 reasons for designating the form body as being eternal or permanent, and the 3 reasons for designating the truth body as Dhammakaya as being eternal or, permanent.
어디 과제를 임바지 어디래. 나한테 노된당 예신이 예배나네. 아니 가산 노된 가수 도시와 임바. 노된디 자와디 유다예당 섬전샘매당
So,
대당 주당 천당拼作된
so this is usually presented in the as a brief explanation and an expanded explanation. So the brief explanation is verse 62, called forth by causes that are infinite, having an endless number of living beings to convert, possessed of mercy, miraculous power, wisdom, and of the complement of her bliss, governing all elements, vanquishing the demons of death, and transcendental by nature. The Lord of the world is eternal.
어디기 아니 가서래 유다야당 섬전샘매당 세계가라 아니 수주고 코아치스그 봐도 안에 샘미셔봐 수비 주대라 시거래 누구 롱지 조요고 당 누구 인유와체 다 롱지 조요고 데 뒤코아치스 바동이 마동지 파던 내위 아니 샘미시비 손이지 손이 선한 거 소다 예시기 그 타야바데 온도 상와이 온도 상위치 군자치체.
So the first reason is that the form bodies consists of the enjoyment body and the emanation body. And that is referring to the form bodies that remains inexhaustibly until the end of samsara. And why is that? Is because of the infinite causes, of the two types of merits, that has rendered them that quality.
치도자위 섬전지 된자발라 된자유기 동아진의 섬전대라 세바매바 인장 다 티치 윤전직 티치도 안에 코스 봐도 쉬가 윤전직이 말이
And the other reason, having an endless number of beings to convert, in order to fulfill the welfare of suffering sentient beings, in accordance with the generating of the bodhicitta to attain, to attain the unsurpassable, perfect and complete state of enlightenment for the benefit of all mother sentiments, in accordance with such, such intentions, then the sentient beings, to be, the sentient beings, whose welfare needs to be taken care of is innumerable, like inexhaustible.
나중에 코와 마동게 봐도 아니 가서래 코와 치세 마동게 파티스 바 코와 치스 바르스 아니 샘전지 된 잡아샤 동아진나위 샘전지 된 잡아샤비 제와당 니도 냠바이나다 양 피그마레스 매번 용식이래디 된대야 말이 아 코와 치스 마도 동아진나위 샘전 대다 그된 잡아 되바기 제와다 니도 당 가서 제와다 니도 주주니가 냠바 매베시.
So to be able to work until the end of samsara for the benefit of suffering sentient beings, then you need to possess the qualities of loving kindness and miraculous powers that is never diminishing, that is never diminishing in order to accomplish such activities.
No, that is a chidawa, she's a chinebata, Muslim station. Then young Chineba Muslim chidawa make a batida mahimba. Chidabala may be Chambanga, and it dungaji minibi, sometimes it was pinzo than temperature.
And then having the wisdom that is able to directly perceive all the varieties of phenomena, as well as to know them completely, exactly, and it's not, it is a wisdom that, while having the direct perception of the exact, nature of phenomena, that it does not know the varieties of phenomena. While it has the direct perception of the varieties of phenomena, it also knows phenomena exactly for what they are. So like that, and then. And of the complement of bliss, then endowed with the bliss of samadhi. So, having attained Chugawanja is like the Lord of all phenomena. Like Lord of all Dharma, Lord of all Dharma, because never undermined by any kind of failings or shortcomings or transgressions. So the first is the two, the completion of the two types of causes of merit and wisdom. And then undegenerate, never diminishing, loving kindness and miraculous powers, two of them. So you have four.
And then
the remaining three are the seven, make up the seven reasons. So that is what I think it is.
said it about Judea, the Samjan Sameta, Zedang said, then there was Zedan, the Samjan Pinzo Dam. Church want you, Church want you, said Tepatuch, that but then is in my check. Judea on to some Chitang, Samjan Tamjas, Tenja, Samjan, Saba maybe Chitang, Koa Chichi, but Samjan Tenja with Zawada to do you maybe Chit, said Chendang, Tudang, said. 这当出当写的主主节年把没被切写的，前当写的写在新年把他当我什么知道了没被前帮俺我当，但记得话拼做的单被切写的前当拼做单写的切，你听写了，确就往就写的。你话看个要往的么子把确就往就特别切写的，我都是切一干了。 So
called forth by the causes that are infinite, referring to the two vast accumulations of merit that allows for the holy body to remain until the end of samsaric existence, working for endless number, having an endless number of living beings to convert, working for innumerable, countless numberless sentient beings, and with doing so with qualities of loving kindness and miraculous powers that are never diminishing, and with the knowledge of wisdom, referring to knowing the varieties and knowing varieties of phenomena and knowing phenomena completely, and of the complement of bliss, endowed with the bliss of the meditative stabilization, concentration, samadhi, and governing all the elements, like the lot of phenomena, a lot of dharma. What it means is, not subject to any failings or not subject to any sort of failings or shortcomings, so forth. So the next part of so this is like in brief, and then the next part denoting the reasons for the Dharmakaya or the truth body being permanent. When questioning the demon of death, and transcendental by nature, and the Lord of the world is eternal. So these three. So so having totally exhausted death, vanquished the demon of death, and then abiding in a nature which is a nature of not existing by way of its own nature, transcendental by nature. Existing within a nature, that which is a nature not existing inherently, not existing by way of its own nature. So, and the Lord of Death refers, the Lord of the world refers to what it means as that this holy body is infallible with regards to activities benefiting the disciples. Is infallible in their activities benefiting disciples. So these are the three reasons for the Dhammakaya being eternal or permanent. So this is the brief explanation. So and then comes the expanded explanation under these two under these two headings. Taking care of the causes, explaining the causes for the care of the world, and explain the causes as to why not forsaking the world. So the first is giving up his body, his life, and his property. He has preserved the highest of doctrine. So these are the reasons as to why one would why the form body is permanent, and why this form body has this capacity to remain until the very end of samsara, remain inexhaustibly until the end of samsara, is because of the accumulation of these merits. 3 countless eons of merit of giving away body, life, and possessions in charity. So arising out of such as these merits, then this is what renders the form body with such a quality. So and besides such acts of generosity, then having undertaken the activity of having preserved the pure dharma, so the pure dharma to be preserved are the pure dharma of scriptures and the pure dharma of insight or realizations. So what is the preservation of the pure dharma of insight? Is generating within your own mind the stages of the path, such as 3 higher forms of training, having cultivated them within your own continuum.
아니 랑기 룽기 담바기 송랍 대다라 퇴삼 체니 아니 현 퇴삼 체위 퇴랑기 아니 냠수 랑디 냠수 람바다야 현라 아니 치 담바데라 마와 체바데라 아니 룽기 담지 timbi 퇴인 바리.
What is preservation of the pure dharma of scriptures is your own study and reflection of the scriptures, studying those scriptures, reflecting on them, cultivating those understandings in oneself, and not only that, then teaching it to others are the ways in which one preserves the pure dharma of scriptures. So as stated in the manifest knowledge, then treasure of knowledge, then it says that what are the teachings of the Buddha? Then the teachings of the Buddha are in the nature of the scriptures and insight.
And
then the way in which these two teachings are teachings of Buddha are preserved are in the manner as just explained. And the objects of one's benefit, the sentient beings, are also like endless, are endless in number, and just like how one generated bodhicitta to fulfill the welfare of sentient beings, then fully completing all such pledges of the bodhicitta. He administers help to all living beings and fully accomplishes his previous vows. Giving up his body, his life, and his property, he has preserved the highest doctrine and administers help to all living beings and fully accomplishes his previous vows. So just as how previously generating bodhicitta to attain the peerless state of enlightenment solely for the welfare of sentient beings, then in accordance with such vows, in accordance with such commitments, then fulfilling those vows by administering help to all living beings, by accomplishing the activities of fulfilling the welfare of sentient beings.
That is that tamjawa sheba nasin ananga juwa pisun sowadam nga tamja nasin sheba la nga juwa ke ani pisun sowadam dambani ani kawasi sawa kharesun gore sana tanda tigi
so just like how they made such commitments, such vows, then the qualities that they are endowed with to fulfill those vows or commitments.
Sanjani ne zangwa da tabi tuje rab ju chir said the sanjani la tawa teche sanjani la ani nyumo be driba sepra pangwa ge zangwa tang ani shiji tabe ani shiji tabe kowa chisi badora to jupiche tuje zawa tuje jemo kowa chisi badu jupiche.
So then for that you have the next verse. The Buddha thus makes manifest his commiseration pure and immaculate. Referring to being totally removed of the obscuration of afflictions, and because of being removed of the obscuration to knowledge, so having that kind of compassion to remain until the very end of samsara.
That is it. 주비 실세 셰바 셰나 시세 봐도 주와 좀 아니 론지 저보 꾸랑는 이게 셰나 대원 되나서 셰바 되나 시세게 봐도 뉴왕아 주르지 깡바 담바니 아니 주르 티시 다도 내말 주르지 깡바 되라 시와래 아 등에지 오 대시 다도 내와 주비 칠 해야 되라. So,
and if this, form body, referring to the enjoyment body, then if this body is so vicious, then has the capacity to remain until the very end of samsara, and shows his miraculous activity which he applies in his acts, abiding eternally. So then the second part, which is the causes for not forsaking this world, is the next stanza.
Landola Nirin than Trevor Tato Nede, Chamber Koa than Yang, the Tanya Symbol Trovichel, said Tea never Jubichel, Chamber Koa than Yang and the news in the Trovichel.
Engaged in the activities of practice and abandonment without any sort of bias or sort of engaging equally in all the aspects of whatever needs to be practiced and abandoned. Owing to his wisdom, he is free from the conception of samsara and nirvana as two separate entities.
Dungaji menebi ane samdenji dawa pisun sawatang nemba yinzang dadu samyaji ding samdu mebam baba kawi ane dingaji dawa pisun sawata demba shir
endowed with the bliss of a concentration which is totally free of suffering. He constantly partakes of the complement of bliss of the inconceivable concentrated trance.
And Jigdan with Sudan Jabba, Jigdan Jabba Nayang, Jigdan Jabba Nayang, say Jigdan with Sudan Tumba Jawa Shede, Ani Jigdan with Sudan Jabba Nayang, Ani Jigdan with Chimaku.
And then to show that it's not under the control of grasping at true existence, not under the control of attachment, aversion, then you say he, and it's the next line. He, whilst acting in this world, is unaffected by the worldly elements. So, while assuming the role of an ordinary birth in life in this world, then being unaffected by this world.
Oh, there. 大约70个人那些钱呢，人家各把那些钱呢，我用是准备就得了，适当没多人就得了，现在嘛个我是什么钱一个呢，都没做下人去。
So in this way you have four causes as to why they care for the world, and the four causes as to three causes as to why they do not forsake this world. So these are the 7 reasons.
Oh, that's all. That teacher, the Chu David Dusumbola, and the Chitaka to Sabbath John de Nimambadang, she took a church to be Chua Meba. Nimamba Serikana, then you want to Chiwati. She took church to us, Maripajang, Maribara Tipajaji, one to Chiwati.
So, and then the next is, the 3 reasons to establish that the Dharmakaya, the truth body, is permanent. So, for that, then you have, owing to his wisdom, he is free from the conception. Oh no.
He has attained
verse 66. He has attained the state of immortality. So as stated earlier in the previous verse, vanquishing the demon of death. So what this refers to is not as subject to birth and death under afflictions and his action karma, are not subject to but under the predispositions of ignorance.
said that sugar buggy and that she had a chance.
So
sugar maybe so Chitak this about the human CCTV Chitak maybe
so he has attained the state of immortality and quiescence, as that there's no change in that state of the Dhammakaya under the factors of affliction and karma or dispositions of ignorance like that.
Ranshin the carriers and Ranshin Tomba Ranshin to never race. Ranshin to never race, Ranshin to a Nessigo Marta, Ranshin Tomba Ranshin never race.
Leaving no room for the activity of the demon of death. So that's the first one, vanquishing the Lord. And then, therefore, the Lord, being of an immutable nature, is perfectly quiescent from the outside. Then what that refers to is that it abides in a natural state. And what is that natural state that it abides in? Is the being naturally empty. So when we talk about that it abides, that this Dharmakaya, this truth body, abides abides in nature, abides in its nature. It is not saying that it is abiding in a nature of inherent existence or existence by way of its nature. It is saying that it abides in the nature that which is empty nature.
Duma chewe rangshin chi tishini la ta tishini duma chewa duma chewe rangshin chi tishini la tu ta do nyamba shabe rab du chewe ane tuwa de dama ne sana thoma me ba na rangshin chi tuwe tongshin rab du chewe cher seya de la ane ka so re tuwa de ne rab shi cher.
Therefore the Lord is perfectly quiescent from the outset. Means because it is in a state of constant equipoise in emptiness, because it is constantly in a state of constantly in a state of equipoise and suchness, which is unchanging or uncreated. So therefore the Lord is perfectly quiescent from the outside.
세가 뒤 딱발 직된지 공부 제대 와 뒤딱바 직된지 공부 제대에서 다시 이야기 아니 두절 루와 매바인자 두시 텐주와 루와 매바라 직된지 공부 나송아.
Thus eternal, he is fit to be a refuge for the helpless and the like. So that is like the Lord of the in the previous brief explanation you have the Lord of the world is eternal. So
인지 따바자메 남진이 잡라서와 태지로 세자와 태기 와
and so thus eternal he is fit to be a refuge for the helpless and the like.
어디 간디시고래서나 잡지 권위니가 초배스 파그 잡괴와 파로보 아니 가소를 시바다 코에 동아지 나와 시시기 아니 집에 나와 인장 잡괴와.
So what this means is that that sentient beings are in need of such a refuge. Why is there the need of refuge? Is because of the fear of samsara suffering and fear of nirvana's peace. So it is this fear that makes it necessary.
아니 잡기 잡 뉴바기 뉴바 여바 인장 잡 뉴바기 뉴바 여바 인장 아니 잡기 권위다 니가 초바 인장 잡매 반 남지 잡라서와 태비칠.
And then this body, of the having the capacity to grant such a refuge, having the power of such refuge. So this refuge here is a refuge of necessity and a refuge of having the capacity or the power to grant such refuge.
전두되라 전두는 샤바테라 이와 아니 다 자와라 당보인이 주된지 수지구이 땅이데 치마숨지 덤바니 최주구이 다바니 세가라.
Then the next stanza is the stanza that summarizes this whole thing. The first 7 of these motives show the eternal character of the form bodies, and the subsequent 3 demonstrate the eternity of the Dhammakaya body.
Oh, that Tambo Yini teacher, Junzen Dunji, and the Sujuku Tabani Tenshe. Chima Junzen Chima Sumji Dambani, Chijuku Tabani Tenshe Bare. The again, Joey Pended tribute to Misaba, Joey Pended tribute to Misabala, and the Tapak Mentaware. I teach
So the first 7 of these reasons are the reasons to establish the form body, the Rupakaya, as being of an eternal character or permanent character, and the subsequent 3 reasons to establish the Dhammakaya, the truth body, as having this permanent character. And so this permanent here means permanent with respect to fulfilling the well-being and happiness of sentient beings, migratory beings, and not permanent with respect to with respect to it being something autonomous, independent, or self-existent.
That teacher, some Jimmy Chaba Shabatella, and Samsung Yubinane. That in it or then Grosso.
So the next is explaining the inconceivable characteristics of enlightenment. So then again, this begins with a brief explanation.
Tambodella, Sanja Kusumla Samji Mitabi, Junzen True Chungi, Sambonga, Chugu Samji Mitabi, Junzen Dang, Trubadi, and the Sugu Samji Mitabi, Junzen.
So there are 6 reasons as to why the 3 Buddha bodies is inconceivable. The first 5 are the reasons establishing the inconceivable truth body, and the last one is the reason for establishing the form body, the Rupakaya, as inconceivable.
Sugus Chugusanji Mijabi Junzanga Hotela, Oda Ewa Chamaliwa. Oh, yeah, that is the two I said. Oh, Ewa Tang, Chamaliwa, Bashiki Musumji to Kusumbo tennis. That kind of
so again, in explaining the 5, characteristics that render the truth body as inconceivable, then this is explained by the nature, the various classification, and all the numbers.
Ngayu Miji Tandam Chidi Chir Sikala, Ngayu Minchi said the Karere Sana, Ani Chugula Ngodang. Ani Chuguki Yawa Pandog Chuguni, Ani Cham Maliban Jawa Pasika Musungu to Chulu Kusumbo Teda Kusumbo Teni Tarsi Bechajusamba Papa Namja Samji made up day, Totu Zovi Chitaka Yuma in Bichir.
So unutterable, inexpressible, representing the absolute truth. So what this means is that the nature of that Dhammakaya, the various classifications of this Dhammakaya, and all the numbers without exception are something that which cannot be expressed in words, nor is it and then the second line, inaccessible to constructive thought. That even the bodhisattvas, the Arya bodhisattvas, cannot comprehend this.
Oh yeah, I mean
the reason why this why this Dharmakaya is inexpressible, unutterable, is because it is an object of the absolute truth.
전담 주지치 시간아 아니 전담 그 두바데 가라가라서나 파바 영산나바 미도기 시기 미바이 미칠.
So when it is an ultimate truth, absolute truth, it is unutterable because it is an object of a non-conceptual equipoise of an higher being. So for that reason, then anything that which is an absolute truth is inexpressible.
단양산 남바 미도비 이시기 미바이인데 이바데 가르레서나 아니 신지 로기 또비 내데 미바 많이 비칠 세데라 돈에 민실 세데 돈에 민실 자와 돈에 민실 세데
So the reason why ultimate truths are the focal object of an equipoise, of a non-conceptual equipoise of an higher being, is because ultimate truths are inaccessible to constructive thought.
돈에 미비시 준자지그 돈에 미바 태양 돈에 미지 벨라 대시 세가라 벨라 대비칠 세가라 아니 한서를 돈에 민바데 마인데 태양 벨라 대비치데 따당 빼삼라 때네 아니 오천 고랑공 오 잡아도 미니바 인상.
So it is inaccessible to constructive thought is because it is beyond beyond the placement of any kind of reasoning and example. Its nature, the nature of the ultimate truth, its nature cannot be known by some example or by some sort of inference or reason.
다다 배삼지 또바 미니바 벨레 대유세 다다 배삼지 또바 미니바 태양 아니 지된 탐제라 대신 랑기 코나 메바 연대 랑기 코나 연대 셴메바 연대 셴메바는 라나 메바 시과데
So this ultimate truth, which is beyond the presentation of examples, beyond the presentation of inference or reasons, because of being supramundane, something beyond this world. So it is incomparable because there's nothing that exceeds it.
오야 라나 메실 세데 데르두가 마이미 라나 메실 세데 벨레 대위 군전데 지된 탐제라지 광나메바 라나메바 추구 삼지메 제비 군전노 체
incomparable because this Dharmakaya is beyond illustration of examples and beyond something beyond this world, supramundane, and there is nothing that exceeds.
다 되지 오늘 자주 선바 파바남 수주고 남지양 수고 무슨도 미바당 소소 집어 남지양 무슨 미바 잡아당 가로세나 무슨도 매매지 태양 스바 코비 타당 시위 타이 마주신 미나위 양알에 대비 당이 이미 지나 삼지미자고 세더라 잡아대라 가서 스시 마주실 나나 매지 스디 미세지 자사 파반 남지 삼미첩
So being the highest perfection, relating neither to the phenomenal world nor to the Hinayanistic nirvana, the sphere of Buddhahood is inconceivable even for the saint, means Arya Bodhisattvas. Gengi tanda dingens de sita mineshin da sita shibetal mish minebe
왜냐면 양아래 대비 단위 임비실.
Saying that this Dhammakaya, it is inconceivable because it is something beyond samsara, beyond nirvana, and that it exists in the nature of the non-abiding nirvana. And so in that respect, it is inconceivable even for the Arya Bodhisattvas.
다 바제 대삼자와서 이사리 다 셰부 대와 대와 셰바텔라 삼지 메자위 텐소소 셰바당 대군이라 뒤에 자라와 텐두와 숨체.
And then presenting the specific explanations of inconceivability, inconceivable character, of this inconceivable character, the specific explanations, and then the summary.
다 삼지 메자위 텐소소 셰바텔라테 자와래 삼매 저도 매시대 저매 텐담 현시로 삼도 매바다 저도 매비 치대 저도 매바당 텐담 바 임비치리 세대다 디션 말이야.
So the specific explanation with regards to this inconceivable character, then you have verse 69. The Buddha is inconceivable since he is unutterable. He is unutterable, being the absolute truth.
양다바 조비 산제 마인비 다 강사 산제 마인비 강사 아니 로와 남지 로와 당 소소 기부 남지 말리 방문숨지 삼도 매대 또주 조비 주지 아니 자야 저도 매비시스 또주 조비 주지 자야 저도 매 무슨지야 삼도 매봐.
So inconceivable because other than a perfect and complete Buddha, other than a perfect, no other beings, no ordinary sentient beings, no beings on the path can perceive it directly, know it completely.
Oh yeah. 다 도도 조비 지지 제 저도 매대 매바 가르레선 다지나시제 된다면 비실.
So why ordinary beings and those beings on the path do not perceive it directly and do not know it completely, and therefore are not able to express it, is because it is an absolute truth.
제매 된다면 인지로 자와.
So he is unutterable, being the absolute truth.
제매 된다 인지로 세대 저도 매대 된다면 비실.
So inexpressible because it is an ultimate truth.
다 되니 뒤제라 된다면 아니 가서 되어달라지 된다면 제매 된다면 인지로 된다면 다자 면시대 세대 된다면 다버샤 많이 비실 세대 된다면 말리바 또기 다버샤 많이 비실 또게 위로 다버샤 많이 비실.
It is an absolute truth, being inaccessible to thought constructions. That is not an object of the conceptual mind.
양 다자 마인데 또그 다바체위 시마인데 세대라 전담 다자 메제데 당밀제바 차밀칠.
So it is not an object of the conceptual mind because it cannot be cognized through inference, and is inaccessible to thought construction since it cannot be cognized through inference. So it is not inconceivable because it is not something that which has been designated by a conceptual mind, and it is not something that which is designated by a conceptual mind because there is no reason, there is no inference, or you cannot present reasons for that designation.
我建议他大吉马律巴是一个呢，多数做完，这个现在看现在个，安尼看说那时候马律巴的大吉巴家嘛也是个嘛这样，我咱们大吉巴的要明白的是吧？大吉马律巴就是巴家嘛没起来。
So here, when we talk about, it is not an object which is designated by by the conceptual mind. It's not this. What is being referred to is that it's not an object that which is known completely without exception. It's not saying that it's not an imputed object. It's not saying it's not a designation of a conceptual mind in how we normally know it. But here, it has to be understood as, it's not completely known by that conceptual mind.
大吉，按你马律巴就是巴家马英巴的开的是呢，那没被起当。
So, why is it not an object that which is completely known by that conceptual mind? Is because it is peerless. Because it is peerless. Highest beyond which there is nothing higher.
但咱那没把赢的，咱那没把我看那没把赢的，实际嘛对面的赢不起，谁得了他？
The reason why it is peerless, the highest beyond which there is no higher, is because it is a quality beyond samsara and nirvana.
咱那没把马对起，谁的谁的？咱那没把马对起，是把科瓦的喜欢马对比，安尼什么人家赢不起。
So that's verse 70. He cannot be made the object of inference, being the highest point of perfection, standing above all, and he is highest of all, since he is not included neither in the elements of the world nor in Hinayanistic nirvana.
Mati never messed it, and that gentle messiro, said it. Mati never messed it, and that gentle messiro, said it. That's Sishi Mati de. And it Siba Quada, she will take Kandu and never maybe said.
So, because it is not not a phenomenon of samsara and nirvana, it's not subsumed within samsara, so it does not abide in samsara or nirvana. He is such as he does not abide in either of them.
That's I say, Mati never made it, and then gentle make so, said it. And then gentle make so, that Sishi Mati, the Sishi Kanto and never made pictures. That Sishi that Kanto and never made but the Karays, and Annie Shiva, Yandeji and then down. Annie Siba Kobi, Toba Meba, see, turn them but Toba Meba. Sishi Yamdu to Toba Tatu budget, turn them about Madruban, Toba. Anikase, Sishin Namdun to Toba Tatu be said. Sishin you would turn down Anim Madruban Yamban to Toba Tatu be said.
So, having no view for the defects of the former and the merits of the latter means, defects of the former means the shortcomings of having no view for the shortcomings of samsara, nor for the qualities of nirvana's peace. Having no view for the defects of the former and the merits of the latter here refers to, seeing the equality of samsara and nirvana, having that view of the equality of samsara and nirvana, in that they both do not have ultimate existence. And so having no view of the defects of the former and the merits of the later.
어디 스시타되는 이유와리 그러나 군조라 때디 스비타당 시위타 이체 전담라 때디 군조라 때 전담라 때디 아니 스비타다 시위타 이체 그러나 나 군조라 때디 스시타스나 간데지스 그래서나 내년기 깨와라 타지도 도자 임바데 내년기 깨와 타지도 임바데 군조를 대비 시다체 다 내년기 깨와 타지도 도자지나 군조를 또 시비타 후마레 그와 내란다 좀 받는 년대지 가사도 시다 후마레 강인잖아 내년기 깨와 타지도 도자 임바체 도자 임바 타지도 나한테 타지도 도착되어야 되나 코르게와라 타지도 도착다와 인장 코비게와 타지도 도착다와 인장 시시타도 상 다 대신도 야안이 되는다.
So there is the extreme of samsara and nirvana, conventional extremes of samsara and nirvana, and ultimate extremes of samsara and nirvana. The conventional extreme of samsara is the view when you think that birth in samsara, under the control of afflictions and karma, is something to be completely abandoned, like in the case of the heroes and the solitary realizers who have the view of birth in samsara as a total and complete thing to be abandoned, is the conventional extreme of samsara.
다 대신도 시와 내년기 깨와 체점지 냥대대 내년기 깨와 좀 체점지 냥대대 타지도 톱자 따와대 타직도 톱자인 바데 가서래 제 가서 시다체 타직도 톱자 따면 전바데 안에 시다를 말해.
And then the conventional extreme of nirvana is when you hold the attainment of liberation, which is the severance of karma and afflictions, as the complete attainment, is the total and complete attainment, as is the case for some heroes and solitary realizers. That is the conventional extreme of nirvana. So in this respect, then you would say that some heroes and solitary realizer arhants have fallen into the extreme, the conventional extreme of nirvana, in which they hold the attainment of this liberation, the severance of birth under karma and afflictions. This liberation, this nirvana, as the complete and total attainment. So in the case of the bodhisattvas, why do they not fall into the conventional extremes of samsara and nirvana? Is because they do not hold birth in samsara as something to be totally and completely abandoned. And so And likewise, they do not fall into the extreme of the conventional nirvana is because they do not regard severance of birth through afflictions and karma as something to be totally abandoned.
Oh yeah. 나 장주선비지라 시다 고제기 군조를 되지 시다 고제기 시작당 군조를 되지 시다 고발 쳐박기 아니 실로니가 요아래 군조를 되지 시다 고제의 가래서 시다 코와제 코와제기 주 단정 말이 봐 인장 단정 말이 봐 고제기 시작때 다음에 또 비셔라 인장 다음에 또 비셔라되게 시다고
So bodhisattvas have the means to, stop the extreme of samsara and nirvana. Have the wisdom to stop the extreme of samsara, which is the wisdom realizing emptiness, the antidote to the cause of samsaric existence, which is the ignorance grasping at the self of a person.
And
the method to stop the extreme of nirvana is the compassion.
Then Tibachibi Lamla, Injichambo Jedi, Tibachibi Lamla, Injichambo Jedana, then I give a chat on the Navy, and that there are Copati, the one Injichambo Koguiza, Injicida Gochi.
So in the case of the bodhisattvas, they do not remain in a state of liberation, which is the severance of birth in samsara due to karma and afflictions. So therefore, they do not remain there, invoked by the Buddhas. Then, they engage in the minor path, starting off with the generation of the mind of compassion. So therefore, compassion is the key or the means that halts the extreme of nirvana.
That detail, and the Dingo said, Tundamla Devi Sisita, Sina, Kwa Demba Truadang, Yande Demba Truade, Tundamla Devi Sita Che.
And then, the extreme, ultimate extreme of samsara and nirvana is, some ultimate existence of samsara, ultimate existence of nirvana is the ultimate extreme of samsara and nirvana.
Siba Koada Shiva, and the Demba Matubala Demba Trua Zina, and the Tundamla Devi Sita Hungary.
When one apprehends samsaric existence, which does not truly exist, as truly existent, then you have the extreme in relation to samsara.
Ani tenda visital Zimba to Goya della Ani Siki Sibakowa the Shivani or de Demba Matuba Tobi Lotegi, and it ends in the Kaguya in Zang.
So in order to
say that.
In order to halt this kind of grasping at the true existence of samsara and nirvana, then the key is the realization that samsara and nirvana do not truly exist.
Oh, that day in Jack Techan in that some major turn social about the Kunila do the Jawa. Turn to what soon you've been on it. Some major return social about the Chinsani.
So in explaining the inconceivable characteristics of the two Buddha bodies, the truth body and the form body, then the specific explanation of these inconceivable characteristics is complete, and now is the summary.
Oh, the call so that and then Kendo Mechijan, and the Dami Jimmy Chameji, Bami Lana, maybe Lana, maybe Madichi, Madi never Mechitan. Only and then Kendo Mecho, Sibakobi Kendang. She will and then the CB can't top on me, but session I'm not about to be cherry, said the teaching Tani. That day, Ola.
So, end of verse 70, which is having no view for the defects of the former and the merits of the latter, having generated the realization of the equality of samsara and nirvana.
Dungataki Kavichi Chokusami Mijao, Chokusami Chabates, Yunzanga, Dungataki Kavichi Chokusami Chabates.
So, the Dhammakaya body is inconceivable, being subtle and transcendental out of those 5 reasons.
Kondu samji mijaba drubi ginjanga wo tagi ani kasore shindu toba kashin chawichi chawa yinzang ani chokude samji mijaba re.
So those 5 reasons that were just previously explained in these previous verses, these are the reasons that establish that the Dhammakaya is so subtle, and so because it is so subtle, it is rendered inconceivable.
Na chuba tegi ani kase chuba tegi ngmen shir sugu sami chaba wo sija chuba junja chuba tegi ani asare chuba kuchini 산재치 수고 지니 기타대바 토마다르 나양 디응오 추바 민비칠 아니 수고 삼지미 잡아고
and then the
수고 삼지미 잡아는 수고 삼지미 잡아서 와 디시 자리
and then the form body, the Rupakaya form, are likewise beyond the reach of human intellect. This owing to a 6th reason. The 6th reason, as they represent mere reflections of the Dhammakaya, which have no real essence of their own. So, and the second body, the Rupakaya, although it has all these myriad emanations, but pure, they are all, a mirror or reflection of that Dhammakaya.
Oh, take something that he Dijela Kunila to the Jawa, the Chinzani, that turned to a tela.
And and no existence by way of their own nature like that, but other than being a reflection of that Dhammakaya, even though they appear in many different aspects, many different emanations. And the verse 72 is the summarizing verse.
That turned to a tela, Lami is a Tuchi Cheso, Yandanji, and then Paro Chimbi, Jawa Samicham. And then Paro Chimbi, Jawa Samicha. Tena Ranjo Namji, Tame Sudine, Transon Chimbo, Wando Namji, Ando Jija Ring, Mai, Jang Ming, said that in better.
So, being possessed of wisdom higher than which there is none, of great commiseration and all the other properties, qualities, the Lord who has attained the highest point of perfection is inaccessible to human thought. Therefore, this ultimate essence of the Buddha cannot be cognized even by the highest yogis who have attained the controlling power over the elements.
Kasare Lami is a Tuji Cheso, Yandanji said, Ranju Yandaba Zobe Sanjeji. Sanjeji Takarina, Tachibutine, Tamisune, Maluba, Tamavisu, Suji Neva, Maluba Chu, Kusumbote, Segmento da Kusumbote, Ani Transon Chimbo, One Toba, Ani Tabasala never said a Tabasasumla nevi, Chajusaba Namji, Maluba, Mosun Riba Mare.
Gona Sunamash, Tambo de Casuma.
Let me see two teachers and then she said one of the Ranju Yandaba Zobi Sanjan Namji, Tamawi Tsuji, Ne Maluba Chu Kusumbote. Tamajinjiri, Tamasiji, Jimari, which I called their Karjudo. Usually Karjudo.
Didn't just shut the Tamabegi is Tamabe Samlugi Toma to La Shasha.
Tamavix, the thing is that Ranju Yandaba Josu Sanja Namji, Tamavi Sum. Suji never Maluba Chuis. Sama with Suji ne
So
Maluba Chu Kusumbotes.
So being possessed of the wisdom, being possessed of wisdom higher than that which is none, of greatest commiseration and all the other properties, then it refers to this self-arisen, perfect and complete Buddha. Then abiding in ordinary aspects, in Tamabetsu Maluba Nevasa.
Oh, Tamabetsu Jine Maluba Chubis,
Kusumbote. These three bodies in an ordinary manner, then abiding and remaining in places without exception.
Oh, they Tanson Chiba Wan Toba, Tabasasum La Nevi, Chajusamba Namjang, Maluba Musum de Ripa Mare.
And this, even the Arya Bodhisattvas on the pure levels cannot comprehend all of this.
Oh, Yandaba Zobe Sanjeji, the Kaseta. Then Paro Chimbi, Jawa Sami Chap, when the Maraswasu, Lame Yishi, and then Paro Chimbi, Jawa Sami Chap, said Digi. Jawa Yandaba Zobi Sanje, Usum Maliba, Sigal Lungu, dan Jugu Chugu, Augusum Maliba Tenamji, and Samji Mijaba Tenshiro, Stasal Nevi Samji, Chanjusamba Tetaki. Yandaba Zobi Sanjeji, only Lungu Jugu Chugu Sumbo de Tenam, Asamji Mijaba Tenichide.
And the Lord who has attained the highest point of perfection is inaccessible to human thought. So, having attained the highest point of perfection means these three Buddha bodies, the truth body, the enjoyment body, emanation bodies, then is inconceivable to human thought. Is inconceivable to the thought of the Arya Bodhisattvas.
That teacher Tamani Tamboni Devadiji do Songduang. Anita said, Lami Yishi Cheso, and then he said, Lana may be Yishetang. That day, Lana may be Yishi Chugu, Yishi Chugutang. Tuji Chembo so, Chemba that Zivi and then he, and Chemba the Chen. So, only to be Yishi Chemba Chen. So, the one Tuji Chembo the Zivi Chen.
So being possessed of wisdom is the purest wisdom, the Dhammakaya, the gnosis Dhamma, the exalted wisdom Dhammakaya, and the great commiseration. Then, they're referring to the great compassion, can say, knowledge and love.
And then Parochibi Javasami Chap, say Ganata. Console Chamba the Zivi Yendenji, and then Tamjaji Paro to Chamba Tatu by Chimbiche. And there is a Tamboni with the Jawat Shulayon, Jelayon, Chimani with Jawat in
having attained the highest point of perfection, referring to the completion of all of these qualities of knowledge and loving kindness. So the explanation of this will come.
당선시보 안도 남지 рим마인 세야디 타지에게 전차성아 양다바 조베 산제 멀리바티 아니 왕도베 자주선반은 일바쳐 말이 있습니다.
And cannot be cognized even by the highest sages. All of these that presented earlier, then all of this is not known by the highest bodhisattvas.
Oh yeah. 다티바치비 줄레미 땡지 그저그르 남바야바 창조지 급들 레우디 니와고 알레우니와 좋아차체
딜 탄다디 톤드빌라 데시케요 말바다와 안네 so
칼레시요 말아
탄다디 츠딜 시멘데시요
그래
탄다스 톤드베 츠체 자와
투제 대세 전송다지
오케이
이제 전송다 투제 타마되게 제와데 가르르잖아 랑주 양샤비 조비 상제기 타마가 좀 내말이바 웃음보데 왕토바기 당 다살내베 제주선바다다 그 말리바 모수를 봐차 말에 스틱타마데르와 장송치보 언도는지 르마인 tena rangju namji tsama chudini sayade rangju yandaba zowe sanjaya tamaga chu malibi kusumbu dis ane transo wangtoba tabasa chajusamba musiri bachawa mares ta di gyunjan de la tsik tangbu niwu diya yongwa re
So this summary is basically that the self-arisen, perfect and complete Buddhas, Buddha's three Buddha bodies. Then, when it assumes the many different ordinary forms in innumerable realms of existence, then all of this is not known, not known by bodhisattvas of the highest levels, like the pure levels. And then you have the following verse as to why it is not known by them because of these particular qualities and so forth like that. One reason why it is not directly known by the highest of the bodhisattvas is because of the inconceivable qualities. So the reason why it is inconceivable is because the Lord who has attained the highest point of perfection is inaccessible to human thought. Therefore, this ultimate essence of the Buddha cannot be cognized. Because of having attained that perfection of the unsurpassable, peerless wisdom, unsurpassable gnosis, and the great compassion, having attained the perfection of all of this. So this completes the chapter on enlightenment. And then the next is the explanations of the qualities attributed to this enlightenment, and for that you have again the outline, the link and the scripture and all of that. And so at the time of the Tathagata Garbha or basic element, then it is with it is a suchness with defilements, and at the phase of enlightenment, it is a suchness without defilements.
No. That really. You want to tell Chanju la Damba, she do Chima may be and then that Shaba Chade. Chima may be Gunzani, Nubi Yerdan, Doda, if she do Tabani Denji Chanju. Nubi Yerdan, Doda, if she do. That Ranshin di Chimada, Lubuji Chimade, Tabani Denji Chanju Tang. It may be Ranshin Nich so.
So then, to denote the complete purity, the totally undefiled state of Buddhahood, which is indivisible from the state of the true purities. Then you have the example of the what you call the the precious gem, and that has these multicolors to it.
Ani toba chugu di MMB ranshin ji ani toba ku toba chugu di song ji MMB ranshin ji so changju de la bang dog yin then chang yi wa
so just like a precious gem that has this many cuts and many colors like that is symbolic of the Dhammakaya of abandonment. And indivisible from this state is the omniscient mind, which is the Dhammakaya of realizations.
Then
as the brief explanation, then the illustrations and like that, and then summary.
Ani tembi kon tambola tenji kona da tembi kona do tamba ni cheni da tembi kona tenji kona do tamba tela.
The brief explanation of the basis, is it the basis? Or teachings, is it the spelling for basis or teaching? Okay, okay, basis. The brief teaching of the on the basis.
Tatela zawala tajin xie rande xande tendang gu dani tela tembe kunzo kunyido.
So the ultimate aim of oneself and of others respectively consists in the body which represents the absolute reality and the worldly emanations which are founded upon it.
Oh yeah. Natela rande chande na kudani se rande chugu se gala.
So
ishi chugu dam ane de teni wo de cha ra ngo ni ku ni wo de rande chugu ku ni tenda be kudani se tenda be ku ya se gore. Shi chugu de la.
So you have the Gnosis Dhammakaya and the Swabhavakaya, the Gnosis truth body and the Buddhist body of nature, which are also known as absolute bodies, Tandambeku, ultimate bodies.
That and so
this body is the body of perfect benefit for the self. So arising out of this body, emanating out of this body. And the worldly emanations which are founded upon it, these bodies are the result of purity and perfection, possess of the properties that appear in 64 varieties.
Thus, Kunyiwa Sugula Chevatela, and number Mimbi, Jebu, Chansaba Suzani, Ni, Kunyiwa La Tempi, and then you were true to Shiva Chao.
And rising out of the second body, which is the Rupakaya, are the major and minor marks.
Oh, Shiva Chao. Rande Shende Tandam Kutani, Tela Tempe, Kutum Nikunito. Chada number Mimbi Droni, say Chugula Tempe, and then Dela, Tambu Chewa Chavi, and the Suzani Town. Kunyiwa Sugula Cheva number, Sugula number Mimbi Drevu, chance of Suzani Kula Tempe, and then number two Shipata Shewa Chao. Chada number Mimbi, and then you were true to Zashita.
So the first body, which is the truth body, then reflects the abandonments in the 32 types of abandonments, and from the form body, then represents the qualities, the 64 qualities within which you have the 32 major and minor marks. And so then the brief explanation of the teaching.
Dani Jini Joyga Tambi Tenju Kuyende, Transon Namji Dayugo Paro Person Sovi Ne, Chawade.
So the position of perfect bliss for one's own self is the body which represents absolute truth. In the states of meditative stability and the like, the power of.
Chivadi, di chi sheche na chivache land la rangu te pisun sawa tatu be duwa sina randen kur rangu te pisun sawa tatu be duwa dani ji jobi neni rande pinso ani chugu de la bangba chugu toba chugu ni wa wo tingi ni jobi neni duma chewi cheju gudang bangba chugu di duma chewi cheju gudang Toba Chikuti, Yishi Chikutua, Ani Tambitan Yukure.
So what is said here, the position of perfect bliss for one's own self is the body which represents the absolute truth. Then you're talking about the uncompounded Dhammakaya of abandonments, and then the Dhammakaya of realizations, which are regarded as the body of the ultimate body, the body which represents ultimate truth, ultimate bodies, which is the body of perfect benefit for the self.
So
these are ultimate bodies.
Tambo Randen Yuku, Rande Chuguni, Tambo Randen Yuku, Rande Chuguni, Tambi Randen Chuguni, Dobla Sovi, and then I'm not Dembishiro. That Chugudi.
And so this Dhammakaya, accomplishing the perfect benefit for itself, has these 10 powers.
Rande Chugudi, Dobla Sovi, and then Dobla Sova Travi, and then Dembishiri can Sunday, Tani Travi, and then the Suzani Yorwa. Tina top juice, never name Chambala so top juice. Or never name Chambala Sovi, Dobla, Sovi, and it Travi, that's the temperature.
So this Dhammakaya endowed with the qualities that arises from the abandonments. And those qualities are said to be 32 types of qualities. Within those 32, then 10 powers is one of them.
장소남지 다이고 바로 표준 소위 세 장소남지 수군이라서 그래 누자라 군조와 다잠도 땜비 다이고 세타 소년 담도 두지 나무로 그러와 이세계랑지 아니 두지 나무로 아니 수군 남바 땜비 남바 태기 아니 누자 바로 보라 원도 삼이 관방 원바 차와당 아니 예바 타바다 탐제 켐베 뒤위 아니 기순서와의 관방 대위 내인데 내인바다 가르데 군이우도 수군이우도 교심의 찬숨을 작숨 견다다 댐비칠
So and the two form bodies, endowed with the 32 major and minor marks, show the conventional appearances to the disciples in order to guide them on the path of higher rebirth and definite goodness as in liberation. So for that you have the two form bodies with those major and minor marks, then appearing in conventional forms to sentient beings for guiding them on the path to higher rebirth and liberation. So we'll stop here. Guru Ratna Manjala Kamniya Taya